Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about something that can change the way you speak English. Thinking in English. Most learners translate words in their mind first, and that slows them down. But what if you could stop translating and start thinking directly in English? Let's begin this powerful journey together. Chapter 1. The problem with translating. When I first started learning English, I had a big habit. I always translated every sentence from my native language. Before speaking, I would think in my language, try to find the English words, build the sentence in my head, and then speak. This took time. It made my speech slow and unnatural. I felt nervous in conversations. Then I realized fluent speakers don't translate. They think directly in English. So I made a decision. I would train my brain to think in English even for small things. Chapter 2. Start small, everyday objects. I started with small things. Every morning when I woke up, I looked at things around me and said their names in English. Bed, pillow, fan, window, sunlight. I didn't say these out loud all the time. Sometimes I whispered. Sometimes I just thought them silently. This simple habit trained my brain. Soon I started making simple sentences. I'm brushing my teeth. Now I am making tea. It's a beautiful morning. This was powerful because I wasn't learning difficult grammar rules. I was building fluency naturally. You can do this too. Wherever you are, just name things around you in English. Start creating easy sentences in your head. Chapter 3. Make English your thinking partner. As I continued practicing, I realized something important. I needed to create a habit of thinking in English even when I wasn't talking. So I made English my thinking partner. Let me explain. Every time I walk somewhere, whether to the market, the bus stop, or just around my room, I started talking to myself in English in my mind. For example, I'm going to the shop now. I think it might rain later. This road is too crowded today. I should buy some vegetables before it gets dark. These were my thoughts, but I trained myself to say them only in English. In the beginning, it was difficult. Sometimes I didn't know the exact word. So I used other simple words. For example, if I didn't know the word frustrated, I said, I am not happy with this. Or this is making me feel bad. It's okay to use simple words. The goal was not to speak perfect English. The goal was to keep thinking in English. Every time I caught myself thinking in my native language, I would stop, take a deep breath, and restart in English. This habit changed my brain. After just a few weeks, I started to think in English without even trying. And you know what? It felt like freedom. I didn't need to translate anymore. I wasn't afraid to speak. I wasn't searching for words. Thinking in English gave me confidence, and it will do the same for you. Just treat English like a friend who's always with you. Talk to it, think in it, and soon you'll find it becomes a part of your everyday life. Chapter 4. Use English in real-life situations, no matter where you are. One big mistake I used to make was thinking that I needed to live in an English-speaking country to get fluent. But I was wrong. You don't need to go to the USA, UK, or Canada to speak English confidently. You can create your own English world right where you are. Let me tell you what I did. Whenever I went to a restaurant, I looked at the menu and read it in English, even if it was written in my language. I would translate it in my head. What do I want to eat? Maybe I'll have rice and vegetables. How much does it cost? I'm feeling hungry. While walking through the market, I thought in English, "Look at those fresh tomatoes. The weather is so hot today. That shop looks interesting." Even when I watched people talking, I imagined their conversation in English. This wasn't speaking aloud. It was all happening silently in my head, but it was powerful. Then I added another step, speaking to myself in English when I was alone. If I was in my room, I would say, "I had a good day today. Tomorrow I want to finish my project. Let me clean my desk." Now, it sounds small, but these small steps trained my brain to treat English as my daily language, not just a subject. And then something surprising happened. One day I had to speak with a tourist who asked me for directions. Earlier I would have felt nervous, but that day I was calm. Why? Because I had already practiced these situations in my mind many times. I gave him directions clearly. He smiled and said, "Your English is good." That was a special moment, a turning point. So here's the lesson. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Use English in your daily life, even if no one else around you speaks it. You're not just learning words, you're building habits, and habits are what lead to fluency. Chapter 5. Practice speaking without fear of mistakes. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Fear is the biggest enemy of English speaking. In the beginning, I was always scared. Scared that people would laugh at my pronunciation. Scared that I would make a mistake. Scared that someone would correct me. Scared that I didn't sound smart. But one day, my teacher told me something beautiful. She said, "The one who speaks even with mistakes will learn faster than the one who stays silent." That sentence hit me deeply. From that day, I made a decision. I will speak, mistakes or no mistakes. So I began small. At the shop, I said, "1 bottle water, please." The sentence was not perfect, but I spoke. At the bus stop, I asked, "What time bus come?" Again, not perfect, but I was speaking. I joined a small English eking group online where people practiced English from different countries. Nobody was perfect. Some spoke slowly, some forgot words, but we all tried and we helped each other. You see, we all were learning, and learning means making mistakes. Every time I made a mistake, I told myself, "This is not failure, this is learning," and it worked. Slowly, my confidence grew. My grammar improved because I was using it in real life. My pronunciation became better because I was saying the words again and again. Now, when I speak, I don't fear mistakes. I feel proud that I'm communicating. Let me give you an example. Once I was in a hotel and I wanted to ask for an extra towel. I said, "Can I get 1 more towel, please?" The staff understood me, smiled, and brought it. That moment felt like a victory. So if you want to speak English fluently, here is my advice. Speak every day, anywhere, with anyone, without fear. Your mistakes will become your lessons, and one day you'll look back and say, "I'm glad I didn't stay silent." Chapter 6. Learn from the world around you. When I was learning English, one of the best things I did was this. I used my surroundings as my classroom. Yes, that's right. The world around me became my teacher. Let me explain. One day, I was waiting at a bus stop. Instead of scrolling through social media, I looked around and started thinking in English. The bus is late. There are 5 people waiting. The sun is bright today. That boy is eating ice cream. These were simple sentences, but I was training my brain. Then I took it one step further. I started listening to the announcements at train stations and airports. I repeated them in my mind. Attention, please. The train is arriving at platform number 3. Flight number 202 is now boarding. At home, I did the same thing. I opened the fridge and said, "There is milk, butter, and some fruit. I need to buy eggs tomorrow. The vegetables look fresh." Even while cooking, I would speak in English. Boil the water, add some salt, stir it gently. I started reading English on posters, on product labels, on shopping bags, even on medicine bottles. Wherever I saw English, I didn't ignore it. I observed, I read, I spoke. The best part, I didn't need books. I didn't need a classroom. The world itself was my practice ground. Let me give you an example. Once I was walking past a clothing store. I saw a shirt with the words, "Make your own way." I read it aloud and thought about what it meant. Make your own way means create your own path. Be independent. That one shirt gave me a new phrase and a deep meaning. That's the power of learning from your surroundings. So, here's what I suggest. Read street signs in English. Watch people and describe their actions in English. Look at products and say their names in English. Create your own English dictionary from the world around you. When you do this every day, you stop seeing English as a subject. You start living it. Chapter 7. Turn thinking into speaking. Anytime, anywhere. Let me tell you something that changed everything for me. If you want to speak English fluently, start speaking in your mind first, then speak it out loud. You don't always need a partner. You don't always need a teacher. You just need a voice inside your head. And that voice must speak in English. Let me explain with an example. One morning I woke up and said in my mind, "Today is a beautiful day. I feel fresh." Then I got ready for the day and said, "I am brushing my teeth. Now I am washing my face. I am wearing my favorite shirt." I was doing everything in English in my head. But I didn't stop there. I started speaking softly too. While walking to the shop, I said quietly, "I am going to buy some vegetables. I hope the market is not crowded. I have $50 in my pocket." Nobody could hear me, but I was training my brain. When I was alone at home, I used to practice loudly. I picked random topics and started talking like this. My favorite food is pasta. Why do I like pasta? Because it is easy to cook and very tasty. I learned to cook it by watching a YouTube video. No grammar books, no memorizing rules, just real simple speaking like we talk in our native language. Even when I didn't know the exact word, I tried to explain. If I forgot the word pillow, I said that soft thing we keep under the head while sleeping. That's called thinking like a speaker, not like a student. One of my favorite exercises was talking to the mirror. Yes, I stood in front of the mirror, looked into my own eyes and said, "You can do it. You are learning. You are improving. English is your friend." At first it felt strange, but after 1 week, I felt confident. The mirror never judged me. It always listened. Here's one powerful tip for you. Before you go to sleep, tell your day in English. Example: Today, I woke up at 7:00 a.m. I had tea and toast. I went to the bank. I helped my mother in the kitchen. I watched a movie. Now I feel sleepy. This simple habit makes your brain think in English automatically, and that is the secret. The more you think in English, the faster you speak in English. So from today, don't just think in your native language and try to translate. Instead, think directly in English. Even simple sentences are enough. Day by day, your confidence will grow. One day, you'll realize you are not just thinking in English. You are living in English. Chapter 8. Real-life practice from fear to fluency. We often think, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh? What if they don't understand me? Let me tell you this. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Let me share a true story. There was a young man who had been learning English alone. He could write well, read well, and even understand movies. But he was scared to speak. Very scared. One day he visited a cafe in New York. He wanted to order coffee, but he was nervous. He stood in the line practicing in his head. 1 black coffee, please. 1 black coffee, please. When it was his turn, he opened his mouth and forgot the sentence. He panicked. He just said, coffee. The lady smiled and asked, what kind? He froze, but then he took a deep breath and said, black coffee, please. That one small step gave him confidence. After that, he made a decision. Every day I will speak English to one stranger. Sometimes it was a waiter, sometimes a bus conductor, sometimes someone in a store. He started small, just greetings. Hi, how are you? Nice weather today. Where's the bus stop? Soon those small sentences became bigger. He started asking, can you help me find this product? Is this seat taken? Do you know any good restaurant nearby? He made mistakes. Of course, one time he said kitchen instead of chicken and everyone laughed. But guess what? He laughed too, and he never forgot that word again. He realized something powerful. Mistakes are not your enemies, they are your teachers. So he stopped feeling ashamed. He started learning from real conversations. You can do the same. Start with short sentences. Don't try to speak like a professor. Speak like a friend. Go to a shop and say, hello, I am learning English. Can I ask a question? You'll be surprised how kind people are when they see your effort. Use apps to speak with learners around the world. Join online English speaking clubs. Practice with friends. Even talk to your pet if no one's around. The key is speak every single day. Here's one great trick he used. He recorded himself every evening for 2 minutes. He would pick a topic like my day or my favorite movie and just speak. At first it felt strange, but after 30 days he listened to the first recording and then the latest one. The difference was amazing. His voice was clearer. His grammar was better. His fear was gone. Remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. So start speaking, even if it's slow, even if it's broken, because broken English becomes fluent English with practice. Chapter 9. Thinking in English. The real game changer. One big reason people struggle to speak English fluently is because they think in their native language and then translate. This creates delay, confusion, and sometimes funny mistakes. So, what's the solution? Start thinking in English. Yes, it sounds difficult. But let's make it simple. When the boy we talked about in the last chapter decided to improve, he made one important rule. From today, I will talk to myself in English. He was still living in a small apartment, no English-speaking friends, no language environment, but he had his mind, so he began to train it. When he woke up, he thought, I have to brush my teeth. When he looked at the sky, he said in his mind, the sky is cloudy today. While cooking food, he would say, I am cutting vegetables. Now I am boiling water. This smells good. Slowly, his thoughts started forming in English. At first, it felt slow and unnatural, but after 3 weeks, English became automatic in his thoughts. Here's what he did to speed it up. 1. Name everything around you in English. Wherever you are, look around and say, "This is a table. That is a window. This fan is noisy." It sounds simple, but it trains your brain to use English for thinking. 2. Ask yourself simple questions in English. What do I want to eat? What did I do today? What will I do tomorrow? And don't just ask. Answer yourself too in English. Even short answers are powerful. 3. Use a mirror for practice. Every night he stood in front of a mirror and had a fake conversation like this. "Hello. How was your day?" "My day was good. I worked, studied, and cooked dinner." "What will you do tomorrow?" "I will go to the park, meet a friend, and read a book." This mirror practice made him more confident and natural. 4. Use simple English. Don't try to be fancy. Many learners think I must use big words to sound smart. Fluency is not about big words. Fluency is about clarity. Use short, clear sentences. Say what you think in the simplest way possible. For example, don't say the atmospheric condition seems unpredictable. Just say, "The weather is changing a lot." 5. Use English in your phone and apps. He changed his phone language to English. He started typing daily notes in English. He listened to English songs, watched videos, read subtitles. English was now everywhere in his day. It wasn't just a subject. It became part of his life. That's how real fluency begins. Not in the classroom, but in your mind. So remember, don't be afraid to talk to yourself. Don't wait for the perfect partner to practice. Make your thoughts your conversation partner. The more you think in English, the faster you will speak it. And soon you'll say, "I don't need to translate. I just speak." That's the real magic of thinking in English. Chapter 10. The final step to freedom. Speak without fear. By now, the boy had built powerful habits. He listened to English every day. He thought in English. He practiced daily. But there was still one big challenge left: speaking to others in real life. He was nervous. What if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at my accent? What if I get stuck? These fears are common. Almost every learner feels them. But he knew if he wanted freedom, he had to face it. So one day he took a step. He joined a small English-speaking group online. It wasn't perfect. Everyone made mistakes. But no one laughed. He said just a few lines at first. "I am learning English. I want to improve my speaking." That's it. And that was enough for day 1. Next time he said a little more, then more and more. With each small step, his fear began to disappear. He realized this truth. Mistakes are not your enemy. Silence is. You can only improve by trying, not by thinking, not by waiting, but by doing. He made a new rule. From now, I will speak English every single day, no matter what. Even if there's no partner, I'll speak to myself. Even if I feel shy, I'll speak anyway. Even if I make mistakes, I'll learn from them. This mindset changed everything. He started joining voice chats. He recorded himself talking. He asked questions on English learning forums. He helped beginners who were afraid, just like he once was. His confidence started to grow like never before. Now speaking in English didn't feel like a big thing. It became a normal part of his life. He could order food, talk to strangers, ask for directions, and even make jokes in English. He was free, not perfect, not like a native speaker, but confident, fluent, and fearless. So, what can we learn from his journey? Start small, but stay consistent. Listen more, speak more, fear less. Think in English, live in English. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Speak even when you're not ready. That's how you grow. You don't need to live in America or London to become fluent. You don't need expensive classes. You need the right mindset, daily action, and the courage to speak. So now, it's your turn. Start today. Speak today. Be proud of your mistakes. They're signs of learning. And remember what we always say. Fluency is not a destination. It's a journey. Thank you for watching this video. We hope this story helped you. If it did, then like, comment, and subscribe for more motivational English lessons. Together, let's grow, let's speak, let's win.